Hey, it's Major Amy Jo here again with another science experiment. So, I like science experiments because they help teach us about faith. And today, we have what's called a clock reaction. Clock reactions, as the name implies, are all about reactions that take time. And this kind of helps me remember the story of Abraham and of faith. So, in here I have some vitamin C water. It's just a little bit of vitamin C dissolved in some water. And sometimes when it comes to our faith, I got a little iodine here. You can see it's that dark brown red color. And sometimes when it comes to our faith, we see an instant reaction. And that's what we're going to see with this. Almost instantly, when we pour that iodine into here, it's going to disappear. Seems like magic. Is it magic? It's just science. But almost instantly, we see a reaction. And sometimes that happens with our faith too, right? We say to God, God, help me with this situation. And almost instantly, God seems to be there helping. We say, God, I really need to get to this meeting and I can't find a parking space. And all of a sudden, the car in front of us pulls out. Or we say, God, I really need your help with this test. I don't feel like I'm going to be able to succeed with this test, and I don't think I've studied well enough, and all of a sudden it just seems like the answers come to us. And Abraham saw that in his life with faith sometimes, didn't he? God said to Abraham, go into Canaan. Abraham went into Canaan, and almost right away, at least in Bible terms, God appears to Abraham and gives him promises. Says, Abraham, this land you are in right now, I will give to your descendants. And I will make you a great nation, and I will bless you, and you will be a blessing. And all the peoples of the earth will be blessed because of you. But that's not always how faith works. So over here, I just got some hydrogen peroxide and some cornstarch. And sometimes we go to God and we say, okay, God, I want to see great things happen right away again. Right away, God. Right away, God. I need to see your power and your... God... Right away. I want to see your power and your glory, and I need to see your work, but it just doesn't seem like anything's happening. We say, God, I need a new job, and we go to interviews and we give our resumes out, and yet there doesn't seem to be a new job happening. And we say, God, I really need that parking spot, and nothing opens up, and we end up going around and around for hours and hours. We say, God, I really hope that you'll heal my sickness. I feel awful, and I really need to feel better. And yet we just seem to languish on and on and on. You know, Abraham saw this too. Remember those promises that God gave to Abraham. God said to Abraham, you will be blessed and you will be a blessing. And Abraham was. And God says to Abraham, and you will have descendants. Your descendants will fill this land. And Abraham, he got older and older and older. Nothing seemed to be happening. Sarah wasn't getting pregnant. There were no descendants. Well, God, how am I supposed to give my descendants this land when I don't have any descendants? In fact, Abraham even goes to God and says, God, I'm going to have to give this land to my servant, Eliezer. And still, there's no descendants. Finally, in desperation, Sarah says to Abraham, here's my maid. You can have a baby with her. Maybe that's the way God will fulfill his promises. And so Abraham has a baby with the maid, but still nothing for Sarah. And it just seems like God isn't answering that prayer. That God isn't there, that nothing is happening. But you know, sometimes faith takes time. Sometimes faith takes patience. Jesus told a parable, and in that parable, he said, you know, a guy, he shows up in the middle of the night banging on your door for bread. You're going to give him bread, not because he's your friend, because he showed up in the middle of the night and wouldn't stop banging on your door. And sometimes our faith is like that, isn't it? Sometimes we just got to keep banging on God's door. We got to keep saying, God, I believe in you. I trust in you. I don't see your promises, God. God, I know you're there, but I don't see you working. And we just keep trying and praying and trusting every single day. Because that's what faith is all about, isn't it? It's about trusting God every single day. We might start to see a little reaction. Maybe we'll start to see some gradual change. Oh, it just doesn't seem like it's quite enough yet, does it? Wonder what's happening. And then all of a sudden, almost like magic, God comes through. And pretty soon, you're going to see where we didn't think anything was happening, we see something, whoa, finally happens. Friends, if you're in that place where you don't feel like God is answering your prayers, where you feel like your faith isn't getting anywhere, just keep going. Just keep praying. Just keep believing. Because God is there. God is working. Sometimes it just takes us a little while to see it. Bless you.